What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I did want to make a video today here on Motorfest. Now the topic today, I would say a lot of players have also been thinking about it, so I definitely can't be the only person. At least I think I'm not. But am I the only person that does think Motorfest might have a slight replayability problem? Do you guys also think that? Now hear me out for a second though, because I do know a lot of players, if they are jumping onto the game and they are new to it, there is obviously going to be a lot of things you can do, like a bunch of playlists, or then we also have things like the Summit as well, which I would say is probably going to be an end game type of thing because you obviously need parts sets for it. We also have the Grand Race, the Demolition Royale, you can jump into and play those. And then on top of that, you also have the lovely challenges in the playlist, you can do them, and also go after money and all kinds of stuff in those said playlists by doing the challenges, so I would say it's pretty decent. But here's the biggest thing I am wondering though. After you get everything done, guys, and you actually jump into all of the playlists here and you do all of the challenges in them, or at least most of the challenges for that matter, is there a really big reason to go back into the events and do them again, or at least go in and go, you know what, I want to go grind out some cars and stuff, and maybe I want to go after more things and get some parts for my vehicles and stuff like that? Like, does it actually drag you back into it, or is there really going to be a big replayability issue here? Now, I would say a lot of players are most likely going to go, well, yeah, Block, there is kind of a problem. Like, all I pretty much do on Motorfest at the moment is jump onto the regular summits, and then after I'm done with the summits, I basically get off because I have, like, maxed out legend points. I've done all the playlists, I've done every challenge, so all there really is left to do is the grand races, which currently don't really reward you with all that much besides money and XP, so you're probably wondering why you actually want to do the grand races. Maybe they can add different PvP events into the game that might actually help the replay issue that a lot of players do seem to be facing in Motorfest at the moment. Now, the next thing I'm probably going to say here is most likely going to have a lot of mixed comments there, but I figured the best way to do it is to most likely see what you guys think. Am I the only one that is also thinking that the Crew 2 had a better replayability to it? Now, hear me out for a quick second, because I do know you can also argue the fact that that game was also not in the best of places when it came out, but I do feel like a lot of the updates really wanted you to go back into it. Or I guess another way you could say that though is the Crew 2 really had a great way of actually getting you back into the game and playing it. That can also come down to like the Motor Pass and the daily and weekly challenges in there, which I always had so much fun doing those. I really wish they would add that into Motorfest. Like, imagine getting some extra money in XP, or doing a few daily challenges and getting like a gold part or something like that every single day. That would be pretty dope, and also fix one of the replayability issues in the game here. On top of that, guys, one of the issues you can't argue in the Crew 2 is, like, for example, one of my favorite updates was the story one they ended up adding, which I think there's actually two of them. Once you actually do all the story things and, like, all of them and, like, the daily ones or whatever, like the lucky guy missions and stuff like that, then they are done. One of the easiest ways they could have fixed that is to basically reset all of them, and by doing them, you actually get some icon levels and XP by doing the stories and stuff like that. That would obviously eliminate the issue there. But I really do feel like having a lot of that stuff in Motorfest is probably going to be a must to keep people in there. Like, being honest, guys, do you actually like doing the summits right now at Motorfest? Are you enjoying them? Are you jumping onto the game and doing the summits, then basically getting off of it? Which I almost feel like a lot of players are unfortunately doing that at the moment. Do you actually jump on and do the grand races? Not even going to lie here, guys. I have not done a grand race in, I think, 2 months, almost around that. It's not that I don't like doing them, I just don't really see a point of doing them. I would rather be able to use some of my parts sets, like throw on an XP magnet, use a different class that I would actually want to use in these said events, which could obviously happen in Season 4, or who knows, maybe this actually might even happen by the time this video's out. Just trying to be a tad optimistic there. Even then, guys, we can also look at something like the Demolition Royale, which basically nobody is playing it, even though it's actually a pretty fun game mode. But a lot of players are going to go, why do I actually want to play the Demolition Royale? Like, what am I getting from it? Or I'd rather go and farm parts and stuff like that, get some of my vehicles done. That way I can do the summit. Now, hear me out for a second, guys. Do you actually think we need a second summit where you can actually have, like, all the new players in it, or something along the lines of no gold part sets to where it's only purple part sets, so that way everybody can probably do it a bit quicker, even newer players, and it might actually come down to like a skill thing, or it is also going to have like a different setup with the said scoring on the events. But for me though, I really do feel like having like different challenges to go after daily and adding like a said tab you can actually do like different challenges or reset the ones in the current playlist events that actually might bring a reason for a lot of players to be like, oh, let me jump back on. I can get more money and XP from these. I can also get like another part bonus or something like that doing these challenges here. Why not add something like that to the game? That way it's not going to be currently just the summit. You know, the other thing I was thinking about was back on the Crew 2, we also had that taxi update that had like those things you can pull up to the said location and then have to get to another location within that time limit. You also had to like bring them with the taxi or at least bring like a package or something like that. That was kind of a cool thing to do. And they also had daily challenges tied to doing the events, so you had to do them and actually go explore different ones and also do a daily challenge attached to it. So why not have more daily challenges and stuff in the game? That could be a great way to bring players into it. Let's be honest here, guys. I know a lot of people might agree here, but Motorfest is currently a looter racer. You obviously have to play the game, get part sets to do the end game content, which currently the end game content is just the summits, which I don't have to get mad at it. We also have like the grand races, like I get it, but at this point, guys, I really do feel like everybody probably wants a tad more stuff to do. To be honest, the biggest thing for me, I really would say at this point, is just add some more PvP game modes. That would be so dang awesome. I would love it. A quick example of that, though, is let's say Destiny is obviously a looter shooter. If you were to only like grind out some of the best weapons and get them, and the only thing you could do is like a raid with it, like only that said raid, there was no strikes or anything, no other replayability to the game, then don't you guys think that would get kind of boring? I mean, I feel like a lot of players are going to go, yeah, bro, I did this already. The raid's done. I can't do it again till next week, so why not log on next week and do it again? There's not going to be any, like, special events you can do that can get you, like, different part sets. Almost like some of these special events you can do in Destiny or something like that. I just feel like something like that, guys, would be so dang dope to have in Motorfest. Now, don't get me wrong here. We could probably see some insane stuff being added into Season 4, like future updates. And the other thing I have been noticing a lot of players saying is once you actually do the playlist, like once you get them all done, there really isn't going to be a ton of things or like a reason to go back in and do them again. Because once they're actually done, the biggest thing after that is finding the better events in each of these said playlists to get the part sets done. And then after that, you're basically going to aim toward the lovely summit. So that's probably going to be the biggest issue. Like, I do know a lot of players did enjoy the playlist, including myself. Should there be more of them? Well, yeah, probably. Should there be a bigger reason to go back into them? Honestly, yeah. And like, what's funny about that, though, guys, a few weeks back, or I guess it was like a month ago, they did end up having that lovely vintage garage playlist with that 50% boost. There's a great way to bring players into that said playlist and enjoy it. That is also going to help the replayability issue, so keep that on a weekly basis. Every single week have a playlist having a boost on it. That way a player's like, oh yeah, I love the events in this one. Let me jump on and actually get a boost in it. Man, that would be so dope. Like, it's the little things like that that would actually improve it and also bring a lot more players into the game instead of at the moment. Everybody is basically doing the summits and they're pretty much like, aye, peace, bro. I am going to go play something else now. Like, that kind of is an issue. I do know people obviously like the grand races, but let's be honest, guys, I really do feel like Motorfest at the moment doesn't have the best replayability to it. Can it get better? Of course it can definitely get better, but the biggest question I keep asking myself is, will it?